You go back to the history of America, it's built upon the family, it's built upon agriculture, and I think with the farm families that we work with, we still have that touch. Or my grandfather, great uncle, they had a small farming operation. So as a kid, going to the stripping barn where they were at, or being around the cattle that my granddad had, the time that we spent together with my dad, my grandfather, and my grandmother around the breakfast table on a Saturday morning, those are cherished memories now. Agriculture has been something that I've always been interested in and passionate about, and a lot of that came from spending time around the small farm that my granddad had. I spent 18 years of my career working in the grain and oilseed business, so what I did in that capacity was I worked as a grain merchandiser or facility manager or trader in some respect at various facilities throughout central Illinois and western Kentucky. We've had a good connection with agriculture in the area, and it's been important for our business to be a part of that community and to support that community. I look forward to being more involved in the operations to find ways that I can serve them better, understand their dreams, their passions, their visions for their operations. I think most people recognize or hear a little bit about commodity prices, but I think probably the bigger problem or the bigger issues that they run to are the input side of it, or it's the hired labor side of it, where whether it's finding that hired labor or dealing with the regulation side. So with farmers, a lot of people understand that they receive a price for their product, and they may hear about that on the news, but the input side of it is going to be a challenge. There's a lot of pressure on prices of inputs being very high, and hopefully they find a solution that brings that down. But ultimately too, with consolidation, we see that in big ag throughout a lot of the United States, and with keeping local farmers supportive and allowing their operations to grow. I think you got to have somebody that you have a relationship with, and more so a partnership. When we work with the growers going forward, it's about being there and being a reliable, trusted networking partner for them. I would say the future for ag of Kentucky looks like diversification. Our growers across the state have done such a good job of that. Many operations that have different areas and different avenues of revenue. I think for me, it's being able to be a little bit closer to the farm in an industry. I want to be a part of those conversations as much as I can, and as much as they want to allow me to be there to support them, to find ways that I can be a solution to a problem that they have. And to be able to be that servant to them in the community, that you provide a little bit of support for their dream, for their passion, to be able to grow that operation.